It's early 2023. I'm at home in Amsterdam with my then girlfriend, and we are looking for flight tickets to Bali. I met her a few months prior to that, and on our first date, we both found the common interest that we love living in a place like Bali. I was there 3 times before, she was there 2 times before. And we joked around on our first date that maybe in a couple of months when things go well, we would move to Bali together. So a few months later, like 6-7 months later, early January 2023, we are at my place and we click book ticket on the online website to book a flight to Bali. The year before that, in 2022, I locked up myself in my house for a full year to work on my YouTube automation business and my coaching business, getting them back up and running again, installing all the fundamentals to make that online business work for me online. This was around 1 or 2 years after my e-commerce business went to the ground, which this story you can look in another video. But early 2023, the business is running again, the YouTube channels are doing well, the coaching is doing well. I was starting to feel very confident again, things were looking bright, and it was time to finally, after a long year in the Netherlands, a long, cold, dark year, to again move to a place where I love living, which is Bali for me. My girl was working some job in the Netherlands and she took 6 weeks off. So February arrives, we moved to Bali. And even though in January I was feeling so confident about the business and everything, I had one of the biggest setbacks in my online business life right before we went to Bali. And I'm gonna share with you this lesson that I learned from that and how it impacted me and what you can be careful for what you can expect when you're running an online business. So I have a portfolio of YouTube channels, faceless YouTube channels that are running for me and making me close to 10K a month in profit right before I'm going to Bali. So I had this feeling, I'm going to Bali, life is good. I can pay and afford all this stuff, the things are running, it's steady and it's growing, and I have things on the side too that can work for me. So let's go. Now, around 10 days or 2 weeks before I'm moving out, I'm visiting my mother for the weekend in the south of the Netherlands. And I went for a swim, like a 2K swim or something in a swimming pool. And I just launched or monetized a new channel the week before that, or the couple days before that, that was starting to get some really good traction. So I was very excited about that. So I finished my swim and I'm standing in the changing booth to put on my clothes. I was ready to get some groceries and eat. And I opened up my phone and my YouTube ad and I wanted to see how the views were developing of the new video that went live that morning or the night before. And I'm scrolling and it's just a dark screen and my channel isn't loading. So I was like, maybe the Wi-Fi here is bad or I don't have connection, so it's probably nothing. Get dressed, put my phone away, go to the grocery store again. I try to load my channel and I'm looking to load it and it's just like a black screen. The logo of the channel isn't showing basically. So now I'm starting to get a little anxious, like what is going on here? This is weird. Is something wrong with my phone or my app, or is there something wrong with my channel? So a few minutes later I get home, I hop on my laptop, I check the channels, I check the email, and to my biggest disbelief, the channel got deleted. Now this channel was a new channel. I started to make a little bit of money, so I wasn't too down about that. But the problem is that this channel in Google was somehow linked to 4 or 5 of my other channels that were making me money and that were doing very well. And all of these channels got deleted with that channel that got deleted too. So I start looking into it, what the issue is, what happened, why everything got deleted and not just this one, why I didn't get a warning and why everything was gone. Basically 70-80% of my income just disappeared within a few hours for some reason that was unclear. So what happened is that there is this YouTube Shorts channel that I was running like a year before that even I started it. And I would pay a virtual assistant to post 10 shorts on this channel every single day. And he would do that, and it wasn't a problem. It was like Joe Rogan podcast clips. This channel, I almost grew to 100,000 subscribers in a matter of a few months just to grow it and see what happens and if I could possibly sell it. I wasn't looking at it, I wasn't doing anything with it. I was just letting this guy grow it in the background, and I honestly almost forgot about this channel already. Now what happened is that someone else was also doing this with Joe Rogan clips, and apparently he saw me as some sort of a competition because he gave me 70 copyright strikes on my channel, claiming that I stole his content, even though we were both using Joe Rogan clips, which weren't ours officially. But Joe Rogan would never strike channels for using his clips for marketing purposes probably, and just because it happens too much. But so this other guy gave me 70 copyright strikes. Now what happens with YouTube, if you get 3 strikes on one channel, your channel gets deleted, because then YouTube thinks that you are stealing other people's content and committing copyright crimes, right? Now in YouTube, apparently YouTube links your overarching YouTube account or like Google account, and it can see which channels and different Gmail addresses are attached to that Google account. So instead of just deleting this one shorts channel that I wasn't even using for half a year already, I wasn't even looking at anymore, they deleted all the channels that were attached to this channel, and they just deleted basically my whole portfolio of these channels. Now, of course, I was pissed and I was trying to get it back. So the month after that, I was every day talking with the YouTube chat support, emailing back and forth, trying to get a grip on what happened and why, how I could get my channels back, explaining how this guy that striked me was doing something illegal because he claimed that I used his content and he striked me for that. But this is, in the copyright terms and in YouTube's terms, this is, if it's not his actual content, this is like a case that you can literally take to court, and that can cause huge fines, and there should be risks involved to doing this, and it's basically getting someone deleted who you say stole your content while it's not your content, because this is just sabotaging other channels. Now the YouTube support was very useless. It was very vague. They didn't give me proper answers to what was happening and how I could get it back. And this guy that gave me the strikes was also not replying on emails. So I basically lost everything, and I was just moving to Bali again, and I was just trying to like set things back up for a good 4 to 6 weeks. I was trying to get all these channels back, but it just was not working, even though I was sending emails back and forth. The copyright department is like a legal entity in the US that is apart from YouTube apparently, and I started a case with them, but that could easily take 2 to 4 months to get fixed, and it can even go as far as you and this other guy having to come to court there to fix the issues and get it talked over, which will also cost thousands of dollars probably, right? So that's something that barely happens unless you're making millions a month with or a year with your channel probably. So I'm in Bali, and at one point I was like, you know what? I gave up on this whole situation. I can't do anything about it. It's costing me so much time, energy, and just headspace. Let me just take my winning channels and start them again and then see what happens. So of course this was very depressing. Like with YouTube, especially if you start a channel, it takes a while for it to get traction, to get up and running. Of course, if you're making like close to 10K a month from your channels and you see that whole revenue stream collapsing all at once, that's so demotivating, especially if you worked for that 1 or 2 years tirelessly, and then because of such a stupid reason it gets taken away from you. You can feel very powerless in these moments and defeated. And I was again in my life at a point where I was thinking, do I keep doing this? Do I start over? Do I do another business model and go do like a normal job again? Like, what do I do? Luckily at this point, I spread my risk a little bit, and YouTube wasn't the only thing I was doing anymore to provide me cash flow. So I could still get by, but still 70 or 80% of my income just disappeared overnight again. And this was a very hard time again. Instead of moving to Bali there with my girl and feeling relaxed and free and like I could like not chill, but like, feeling more at ease, I was like stuck in this work and trying to get things back and trying to get things back up and running and forcing my way through it basically. And there's some lessons in that I learned where, first of all, you gotta play by the rules, man. So I wasn't doing illegal things, but I do blame myself for having this shorts channel, which was sort of a little bit of a shady thing where a lot of people were starting these shorts channels and just hiring someone to post a lot on it to grow it very quickly. It wasn't making me money, so it was just stupid to run it anyway. But you see this often with no matter which business model you run, you can play by the rules and then usually it's going to take a little longer, or you can try to find these quick ways to get things done, or to buying a pre-monetized channel, or boosting your channels and views through certain ways. The same with all these other business models. There's always ways or services that you can buy to, so to say, speed up your progress, but usually these just get you in bigger problems. And what I learned from this experience is just to stick to the basic and to the fundamentals of what work, and keep your head down and be consistent with that and make it work that way, and just stick to it and don't try to cheat the system and be quicker basically. So that's one thing. Another thing is that it really taught me the lesson of spreading your risk. So of course you don't want to have shiny object syndrome and try all these different things at the same time, running all these online businesses at the same time. But whether it's just investing your money in some other things like stocks or real estate or whatever, or just having a site, has another thing that earns you money like freelance work or whatever, or just having different YouTube channels that are separated properly so that when one gets deleted, not everything gets deleted. These are just some ways to, minimize your risk, because the worst feeling there is working hard on something, getting momentum, seeing traction, earning money, and then just for it all to fall apart in a matter of a few days or weeks and having to start all over again. Like the mindset required to keep on going after a moment like this, it sounds pretty easy, like you just start again, go again, whatever. But the moment all these things fail that you worked so hard for, and you having to start over, that's really difficult. And I experienced that in the past already with other businesses, so I was like prepared for it. But still, in the moment, you are just feeling like, man, is this even worth it? And do I even want to keep on doing this? And what if this is just going to keep on happening again and again and again? So these are some valuable lessons that I learned from being in a situation like this. In that moment, I just was very relentless in the feeling of like, you know what, I'm just going to start all these channels again. I know how it works. I'm going to build it all back up again, and I'm going to get to the same point again. And that's what I did. And now I'm back in that same situation, or even better than when this all happened. But in that moment, I could also have given up, and then I would probably maybe even be working like a normal job now again. But because I had that mindset of, I'm going to crush it again, let's go, no self-pity, no self-loathing, just get it going again, you know how it works, get after it, put your head down and start working again. That really helps that really made it possible for me to still be in this situation now. And in the moment, stuff like this seems like the end of the world, but in the end, it just adds to your story. Usually it isn't as bad as it seems in the moment. And if you just get to it and keep grinding, you will get back to that level that you once